And on today's training, I'm going to show you how to pull the lists so that you're not wasting your time with unmotivated property owners, because nothing is more discouraging than working with unmotivated property owners. Any one of these lists you can use, and you could just focus specifically on those lists, and you can make a tremendous income every single year. I know people that literally all they do is one of these specific lists, and that's what they master, and they make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year on just focusing on one of these lists. So it's totally up to you, but I'm going to give you all these so that you know what your options are. Now, the 10th list is more of like a warm-up, right? It's more of a warm-up to get into real estate investing. It's kind of the easiest way in, because you don't have to do a tremendous amount of filtering. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. You can get hundreds of leads for free just by pulling this up on Zillow. So let me jump right in and show you this list, which is the number 10 list, which is on market fixer upper leads. Okay. What we're looking at here is this. I'm just in Phoenix, Arizona, right? So Phoenix, Arizona, I'm going for sale listings. I go under the median sale price. Our median sale price is right around $500,000. And that's really the bread and butter, guys. You want to stay under the median sale price, because that's where your biggest pool of other investors are. If you're going to be wholesaling, if you're going to be assigning your interest in these purchase agreements to another investor, stay under the median sale price. And if you have any questions about anything that I'm saying during this training, put it in the comments section. We answer those all day long. We want to participate. We don't want this to just be like I'm talking at you. We want this to be a conversation that works the best that way. So never let a question go unanswered. Put it in the comments section. But this is it. So what I'm doing is I'm going single family first, just houses right here. I'm going to go into this more section, and I'm going to put in right here needs TLC. Needs tender loving care, right? So what this is going to do is it's going to go in and it's going to look at the descriptions that real estate agents have for on-market properties, and it's going to filter all those based on those keywords. Right? It says it right there, keywords. But I like needs TLC, and what we're looking for are these type of properties, right? We're looking for these properties that are in rough shape, and what you want to look at is a couple different things. Number one is how many days on Zillow is it? That's usually how many days on market. It's been on 86 days on market. And the person that you want to reach out to is the listing agent. Guys, do not do this request a tour or contact agent here. This is how Zillow makes money. They make money by selling buyer leads to real estate agents. And if you put in your information here, you're going to be contacted by a buyer's agent. We want to reach out directly to the listing agent. So right here, you want to reach out to this agent. Their information's right there. You call them up and you want to ask three main questions. Number one, is the property still available? Write these down, guys. Is the property still available? Number two, how many offers have they received and what have they rejected so far? I just don't want to waste anybody's time. And then number three is if they can't get the price that they want for this, what are their plans? Okay? Those are the three main questions that'll make you sound like a pro instantly, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Deborah, is it still available? Is that property still available? Okay, great. Yeah. And I'm sure you've been getting a bunch of offers on that. Are you guys negotiating any offers? Have you guys rejected a bunch? Like, I don't want to waste anybody's time. What's too low to offer on this property? They may or may not tell you, but it's going to give you a really good indication. Some really experienced agents will say, listen, submit your highest and best offer and we'll respond to it. They won't give you any kind of like play, but a lot of them will. A lot of them will be like, hey, we rejected an offer for, $80,000 on this, $100,000 on this, $150,000 on this. You got to be above this. We've got offers that we're negotiating around list price. Okay, great. And then the third question is if they can't get the price that they want for this property, what's their plans? I want to know what the motivation is. I want to know, are they just going to keep this? Why do they have it priced too high? The only reason a house doesn't sell instantly once it hits the market is because of price 100% of the time. So why isn't the seller understanding and lowering the price to a point where it causes it to sell? That's what I want to find out. And then from there, you can go a couple different ways. Number one, you can say, hey, listen, I'm looking for projects just like this. What do you have coming up? What other houses do you have that need some love? You know, they need some renovation. Maybe they're in original condition. Maybe they're totally destroyed. That's really what I'm looking for. What do you have that's coming up like that? I'm telling you, you'll get deals this way. You absolutely will get deals this way. By the way, as you're doing this, you're adding to your experience level. And this whole business is about mindset. This whole business is about confidence. How do you build confidence? Is you build the skills of effectively communicating with property owners or people that represent property owners and making offers. If you have enough conversations and make enough offers, you win. You win every time. Nobody here can deny it. It's undefeated. If you talk to enough people that have distressed properties in distressed situations and you make enough offers, you will do deals. You will do deals. I'm just telling you, nobody can argue that. So just focus on that. Build up the strong mindset, and you are unstoppable. You'll be like a rhinoceros. You're going to just be charging through like a big, snorting 3,000-pound rhinoceros. You're going to do amazing things in this business. I believe you. I believe in you. I've interviewed so many people on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast that just didn't think that they would ever be able to do deals, and then all of a sudden they build these incredible businesses because they just started taking the action. All right, so that's what I would do. And then from there, I would say, do you have any other properties for sale that I can look at? Or I would say, hey, listen, if they can't get that price, I could get in that price that they want, but it would have to be in payments. Are they open to terms? And then that opens the door to some other creative options. So make sure that you follow that blueprint for calling on these properties. Next, number 9 is tax defaults. All right, I'm going to give you a couple resources here that are absolutely phenomenal. But before I get into this, you can get free list of tax defaults if you go down to the county treasurer or the state treasurer or the city treasurer, whoever is in charge of collecting the real estate taxes. We don't actually own real estate. You guys understand that, right? Like the government owns all the land, right? If we don't pay property taxes, they literally take it from you. And so you have to pay your property taxes because it funds everything in your local community, everything. Streets, sanitation, spaces, services, security, all those things, right? It pays for all that. So they want their money. So they want their money so bad that if you don't pay, they put it out to the public and say, hey, listen, if you buy this lien from us, you can get upwards to 16% return on this tax lien. And then people negotiate it from there. We won't get into that. It's an exciting business, but we won't get into that. Anyway, so people get into tax default. And that means, why aren't they paying their property taxes? Well, oftentimes they own it free and clear. Because if you have a mortgage, your mortgage pays it. Because your mortgage doesn't want anybody to foreclose on the property and wipe out their lien. So to protect themselves, they put it in escrow, is what they call, and they make those tax payments for you. So if they're tax default, oftentimes it's owned free and clear. And if they can't pay for that, what happened? Well, maybe somebody inherited the property. Maybe somebody, just financially can't keep up with the property anymore and they can't pay the property taxes anymore. Property taxes increase every single year that there's appreciation. The more valuable a property is, the higher your taxes are, typically, depending on what neighborhood you're in. There's some programs for the elderly. There's certainly some programs for historic properties and that. But you got to pay your property taxes, and usually it increases. So there's a lot of opportunity there. You can go to your treasurer's office. You can ask them for the tax default list. The issue is, at least in my market here, it's like hieroglyphics. It's like coded and it's weird, and you don't really know, what addresses are in default. You don't know if they're single family or if they're land, if they're commercial, or all these things. So if you want it filtered, I'm going to give you two resources. By the way, guys, I'm going to give you as many free resources as possible for these lists so that you can go out and do it. But for a small budget, you can have companies that do this all day long, filter it so that you can save your time. Okay. But if you have more time than you have money, go to the county, literally Google tax defaults in treasury wherever you live. And you'll go down the rabbit hole. I don't know if that's the best prompt, but you'll figure it out. But here, flipfinder.ai, this is what we use. It's absolutely incredible. You got your tax delinquent activity right here. You pull it. The list pulls up, and it's updated every single day, or as often as the tax defaults come out. And it's been very, very, very good for us. We actually closed a little this deal here. This is 1966 East Desert Moon. We closed this in January of this year. This is what our purchase price was, and we sold it, and we made $28,500. $28,500 on this deal from the tax default list, pulled right here. Another great resource is I always want to give you a couple, because people have different preferences and want to pull. Some people don't want to get into a subscription base. Totally understand. Flip Finder, it's $97 a month, and it's incredible. You get a ton with that. If you just want to pay per lead, this is a great resource. RealSupermarket.com. RealSupermarket.com. A lot of my students in the Rhino tribe use this list, and they love it. And you get the tax liens right here, baby. You get all these other ones, some of which we're going to be getting into later in here, but it's absolutely incredible resource. If you use the coupon code TTP, like my shirt, then you get 5% off. And so there you go. Real Supermarket, you get the tax defaults right there. Next is going to be your expired listings. What happens if a property goes on the market and it doesn't sell, and it goes expired because the agent didn't do their job? They weren't upfront to the property owner about how much they could get for it, or maybe they didn't really have a strong backbone to say, hey, property owner, you are crazy. You'll never get that price for it, not just to be cashed out. And so we're just wasting each other's time. But Vulcan 7 here does a phenomenal job of grabbing the expired listings and for sale by owners, some pre-foreclosure, some of these other lists right here. They do a phenomenal job. It comes skip trace. It goes right into your dialer. You can call them right away. A lot of real estate agents use this as a resource, and I've seen a lot more investors start using them as well. I used it way back in the day, and the data was phenomenal. They actually have a pretty slick dialer as well. But this is just a really good one here for you. Vulcan 7 as a resource for your expired listings. I don't have a case study for that because we don't really do them. For sub-2 deals or creative finance deals, this is a really, 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 really strong resource because they want to sell, right? One of the hardest things when we're being really proactive in our business is we need to figure out if they want to sell. We're reaching out to them because we don't have a budget to have people reach out to us, and I'll discuss that later. So we're reaching out to them. We're being super proactive, and we don't know if they actually want to sell. Well, here they already said, hey, listen, I want to sell. I just couldn't sell it this way. And maybe they've gotten more realistic, or maybe they're open to some creative options. Boom. There you go. Expired listings right there. Next, let's move on to vacant land. Vacant land. Awesome. Guys, PropWire, Jerry Norton. I mean, guys, look at this. Jerry put this out for free for everybody. Look at all these. You can get all of these lists absolutely for free right now. You can get probates, you can get vacant lots right here. This is what we're talking about. Vacant lots. Everybody's sleeping on vacant lots because they're like, I don't know how to evaluate them. I don't know what's going on. Let me teach you how to evaluate vacant lots right now in 90 seconds, okay? Number one, you've got two options, okay? The first one is the best option. Second one is a really great option, but you're not going to make as much per deal typically. All right. Number one is look for vacant lots in subdivisions, in already established neighborhoods. Okay. That's where you want to find and pull these vacant lots. The builders and the developers, the amount of them, the pool of them is much bigger for projects that are already well established. There's already utilities, infrastructure, all those things, right? And so there's more buyers for these lots. Now, if you're wondering what to offer, a developer or builder typically budgets 10% of the retail value of a property that they build on there for the land. Let me say that again, 10%. So if you're looking around in that neighborhood, first look for any properties that were the most recently built. hopefully within the last 12 months. See what they sell for. If they've sold for $400,000, $450,000, then you can expect that a developer, a builder is going to spend $40,000 to $45,000 on those vacant lots. Got it? $40,000 to $45,000, 10% of the fix. Now, if there's not any new builds around there, then just find the most beautiful upgraded house in that area and use that as your benchmark. The other thing with vacant lots is this. Make sure that you talked to the county planning and zoning department and make sure there's nothing crazy going on with that lot. Make sure that there's not some weird easements. If you want to know what an easement is, put it in the chat or the comments. I'll break that down. If there's any utility easements, passageway easements, whatever it is, if it's in a flood zone, if for some reason the building envelope, the actual space that you can build something on that property is too tight to build something, those are things that you need to know. That's a simple call down to the planning and zoning department. I'm looking at buying this lot. I just wanted to see what's going on with it and if there's any restrictions for building and what the setbacks are. Write it down, guys. Write it down what the setbacks are. And that's it. Don't overcomplicate this. And by the way, a lot of people sleep on it. A lot of people are driving around and they're seeing all the ugly houses, but they forget all those lots that are really great opportunities. So make sure that you go after vacant lots. It's all right here, propwire.com. Jerry Norton absolutely knocked this out of the park. It's got a ton of resources, guys, and it's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. It's got big plans with this. I don't know why. He's spending an incredible amount on data, by the way. I mean, he is spending an incredible amount, but he loves this industry and he wants everybody to win. So I give him huge props for that. All right, that's the 7th list out of 10. Number 6 is code violations. Code violations. Again, guys, you can go, and I'm going to show you this as an example, okay? I'm going to go into, I think all I did is code compliance Mesa in Google. Yeah, that's all I did is code compliance Mesa, Arizona. And then it pops up this, and all I did is search. Push this search here, and boom, it starts doing its thing. And look at all these. All these addresses right here are code violations. This is very typical for a lot of major cities. Okay, a lot of major cities. Now, you have to go in, copy and paste, put it into, some sort of Excel to be able to skip trace, to get the phone numbers, or to be able to mail to them, or whatever you want to do to reach out to these property owners. Yes, absolutely. I'm telling you, it's all right there. I mean, you get all of the data for your code violations. Now, if your area is trickier, again, guys, I want to give you all the free resources I can. I want there to be no reason that anybody, depending on whatever your budget is, can't go out and find an opportunity this week. I want to remove all obstacles so that you can go out and take massive imperfect action. These are properties in all these lists. I'm not just specifically talking about this list, but I want you to be able to go out and take massive imperfect action. Well, I don't have the budget. Great. Free lists here right from the city. And typically code violations are going to be done by the city. It's either the neighborhood services department or it's code compliance. Just Google one of those two and you're going to get pretty close. If you can't get it that way, again, guys, the real supermarket.com. Use the coupon code TTP. It's right here, code violations, and they do a really good job. These guys actually, I just found out this morning, supply most of the big data companies with their data. This right here, had no idea. Just found out about it. Absolutely incredible. So code violations there. And if you're wondering, well, how do I get the phone numbers? Go to cyber background checks and you can pull it up there. You can go to True People Search and pull it up there and get the contact information for the people that you're trying to get a hold of based on their address. I mean, you put in the name and address here and you find the address, or you go to cyber background checks, you put in the name, address, or you could go by name or address. Typically it's going to be by address, and there you go. Isn't that incredible? So then you're just searching. Now you get all their phone numbers. So there you go. Now you've got the code violation addresses. You've got where to get their contact information. You can just reach out to the property owners and ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. Now I'm going to sandwich in here the bonus list. And this is what is called reverse wholesaling. And I want to show you this because we sell 10 deals a month this way. And what we do is we send out 2 emails every single day right? We send out 2 emails, and not all of these deals are our deals. What we did is we went and we talked to all of our cash buyers, and we said, what properties are you looking for? And then we went and got on every single wholesaler's list. Everybody that's direct to property owner, we went and talked to them and said, hey, listen, we would love the opportunity to try to sell some of your deals to our buyers. Is that cool? Always get permission first. Always get permission first. All right. And then they say yes. And then we put it out there, and we don't up the price of the property. We just charge the buyer $2,000 or $3,000, depending if they want. If they get the property, then we'll charge them $2,000 to $3,000. Isn't that awesome? Absolutely incredible. Be licensed to do this, guys. You want to be licensed to do this. But this is a great opportunity. If you have a real estate agent friend to connect with to reverse wholesale, boom, you go and you grab all the information, you put it out, and then you start sending it out twice a day to your buyers. Why do you do this? 1, because the more you send out, the more people open up your emails. The more that they see that you're frequently sending out great deals, all of a sudden you are the go-to resource that your cash buyers want to work with to go and get these deals, right? It's just an extra way to reverse wholesale. What are you looking for, cash buyer? I'm looking for this. Okay, great. Is it on all of these wholesale lists? Okay, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. And then you just put it out to them directly, or you put it into a list every single day. You send it out. It takes 15, 20 minutes once you get rolling with this thing to send all of these out. If you want more training on this, put it in the comments section. But I learned this from Spencer Caldwell. He's done a phenomenal job. He's got a great video on here on this channel. Make sure that you check that out. But that is the list nobody's talking about. Finding other people's deals that they already locked up, getting permission to send it to the cash buyers, and then either we'll get it assigned to ourselves and assign it to them, or we'll just play middleman and get a commission on it because we're licensed. So you could do this unlicensed if you get it assigned to yourself and then assign it to somebody else. But I think it's smart to get a license, first of all. But second of all, it just makes it a lot easier to run it that way.